Our next speaker number 3, David Flores. My teen mother, David Flores.
Fellow Toastmasters, welcome guest. My mom, the teen. If you recall, maybe a few years ago, there used to be this public service announcement would say, do you know where your teen children are tonight? Having a teenage daughter, I try to keep as close a tabs as I could on what she did at the evenings, where she would go, who she was with. So I always kept a tight rein on her behavior. My mother, on the other hand, brought a whole new light to teenage behavior. You see, what happened is after my father had passed away, my mother met a younger man. He's about early 70s. She was mid 70s. This gentleman was 180 degrees to what my father was. My father was hardworking, didn't drink, didn't smoke. It was housework and church. Not a lot of excitement going on there. My mom's new friend, though, was party, dancing, gambling, horse track, Indian casinos. So there was a whole new world that my mom was exploring with this man. But she's an adult. I figure she can behave responsibly. There's nothing to worry about. Little did I know the chaos she would cause down the road. There was a morning that she had to go to the hospital for some minor surgery. She'd be in for maybe a day and be out. So my responsibility was to take the day off from work, and I would drive her to the hospital for her surgery. So early in the morning, around 7 o'clock, I get a phone call, and my mom says, are you coming? He says, yes, I'm on my way. I'll be there shortly. We'll be at the hospital by 8 o'clock like you need to be. So I get to the house. I pick up my mother. She gets in the car. We drive down the road, and I notice she's starting to fall asleep. It's like, okay, no big deal. We get to the hospital to start to check in. We're at the receptionist's desk getting the information. My mom is sitting there, I'm helping answer questions. And she starts nodding off. And the receptionist says, is your mom okay? Oh, yeah, I think she's fine. I think she probably just didn't get much sleep last night because she was nervous about today's surgery. It's understandable. We get her checked in. She goes to the room. She's in the room where they're going to start doing the surgery. And that's when all heck breaks out. Evidently, what had happened is my mom, I found out later, had gone out dancing, had gone to the racetrack. Then they proceeded to go to the Indian casino. She called me that morning when she got home from being out all night long party before her surgery. That's why she kept falling asleep and nodding off everywhere we went. But the bad part was I have the doctor and the anesthetist coming down the hall wanting to talk to me. Evidently, the doctor has a habit before surgery to talk to his patients, assure them they'll be fine, kind of explain how it's going to go on. Not a big deal. But when he walked into the room to talk with my mom, she was sound asleep. And when my mom falls asleep, she is asleep. There's no waking her up. The house could fall down, she'd be asleep. The doctor gets upset and looks at the anesthetist. I thought I told you not to do this until I have a chance to talk to her. Don't put her down yet. And he's like, I haven't even touched her yet. Well, she's not even awake. She's totally out. You did this. Now you've messed up my whole process. And he keeps arguing. So they get in a big argument about it. Come down the hall wanting to talk to me. Is there something about your mother we need to know? Why is she so asleep? Does she have some problems? Is she having issues? I go, no, see, growing up with a bunch of brothers, one of the things we learn is we don't rat each other out. I didn't have the nerve to tell the doctors that, well, mom had been out all night partying. She was dancing. She went to the racetrack. She went to the Indian casino and gambled all morning, and then just now came in for her surgery. I don't think that would have gone over real well with the doctors. So I kind of just pushed it aside, said, I think really she's just tired because she didn't get much sleep last night. I know that I talked to her earlier in the day, which was a lie, that she was nervous about the surgery and she wasn't really sure she wanted to go through with it. And I kept encouraging, Mom, you'll be okay. But not knowing what had happened, I didn't say anything other than the fact that once I found out what had happened, that it wasn't going to go over well. So the lesson I learned more than anything else is that even though most of us probably don't have parents that we have to worry about, but for those who do, remember, parents can be just as bad as teenagers when they decide to do their second childhood, but the second childhood doesn't have any parental guidance, so they can get as crazy as they want. But when I found out what my mother had done and the chaos she had caused, I finally realized that now I have 2 teenage children I have to watch out for, or else I'll be answering a lot of questions to a lot of different people. Mr. Toastmaster.